Today, I'll bring you a fascinating topic: the most unusual, unexpected, and bizarre lottery winners. So, fasten your seatbelts as we take you on a thrilling ride through their stories. Carl Atwood is often considered the unluckiest lottery winner of all time. Little is known about Carl before his win aside from the fact that he was your average 73-year-old man who was living in Indiana. He also did have a fondness of purchasing lottery tickets and scratchers. This fondness is what eventually led him to his win and demise. Carl was one of 3 lucky contestants who purchased a ticket that won them a place on a taped recording of the Hoosier Lottery in Indiana on January 22, 2004. The show allowed the players to win money during the first recording and then also invited the winner of the first show back a few weeks later in order to play for a grand prize of $1 million. Carl did really well in the preliminary rounds of the show and managed to secure himself $19,000. In the final round before the end of the show, he hit an incredibly lucky streak and managed to triple his winnings. This left him with a fantastic win of $57,000. When receiving the money at the end of the show, Carl intoned to the presenter how thankful he was. He also stated that he had never expected to be leaving the show with such a large amount of money. However, as we mentioned earlier regarding how quickly we dream of what we want, Carl already knew what he wanted and told the presenter that he would be using the money to buy himself a nice car. Later that same day, Carl decided to walk to the grocery store, which incidentally was where he had purchased his winning ticket. Since the store was only a block away from his home, he was not worried about walking in the dark. Despite wearing dark clothes and despite the intersection that Carl needed to cross to get to the store being devoid of any lights. You may begin to see where this is going. Only hours after winning $57,000 and with a chance to win an additional $1 million, Carl was struck down by a passing truck driver who failed to see him in the darkness. Carl was soon rushed to a nearby hospital where he succumbed to his injuries shortly afterwards. As you might well imagine, Carl's whole family was in shock at the sudden passing of their spouse, father, and grandfather. A day that had started off so well and had shown signs of unexpected luck had suddenly taken a very dark turn and had left Carl's family with a void that no amount of money could ever fill. While having to deal with their loss, Carl's family soon received a call from the lottery operator regarding Carl's spot on the upcoming show where he would have stood a chance to win $1 million. Shortly afterward, lottery director Jack Ross announced that the lottery was working with the family to decide who should take his spot of Carl. At the same time, the lottery got the go-ahead to air the recording of the show in which Carl had won his prize money. At the end of the show, the lottery displayed a picture of Carl alongside the caption "In memory of Carl Atwood." While the sentiment did nothing to bring Carl back, it was still a touching tribute to him. Mirlande Wilson is a woman from Baltimore, Maryland, who made headlines in 2012 when she claimed to have won a share of the $656 million Mega Millions jackpot, the largest lottery jackpot in history at the time. She made national headlines after she alienated her McDonald's co-workers by claiming she bought the winning ticket outside of a company pool she had participated in, and her co-workers accused her of trying to keep the winnings for herself. The situation became even more complicated when Wilson said that she had lost the winning ticket and did not know where it was. She later retracted that statement and said that she had hidden the ticket in a safe place, but she refused to reveal its location. Lottery officials said that they had not received a claim for the winning ticket, and they began to investigate whether Wilson had actually won. In the end, the actual winners, who refer to themselves as the Three Amigos, arrived at lottery headquarters on April 9 to claim their portion of the $656 million jackpot. The group chose the cash option of $158 million, which will be reduced to $105 million after taxes. Calvin and Zatera Spencer are a couple from Portsmouth, Virginia, who made headlines in 2013 when they won the lottery 3 times in 1 month. The Spencers, who had been playing the lottery for years, attributed their success to being persistent and playing the same numbers over and over again. Their first win came on March 12, 2013, when they won $1 million in the Powerball lottery. Just 3 weeks later, on April 2nd, they won $50,000 in the Virginia Pick 4 game. And a few days after that, on April 22nd, they won another $1 million in the Powerball lottery. The Spencers said that they were in shock after their first win, and that their subsequent wins were even more surprising. They said that they planned to use their winnings to pay off bills, buy a new car, and help their family members. The odds of winning the lottery once are already incredibly low, but winning 3 times in 1 month is almost unheard of. Some skeptics questioned whether the Spencers had somehow rigged the system or were involved in some kind of fraud, but lottery officials investigated the wins and found no evidence of wrongdoing. The Spencers' story was a reminder that sometimes, against all odds, luck can strike multiple times in a row. Ronnie Music Jr. was a lottery winner from Waycross, Georgia, who won $3 million in the Georgia lottery in 2015. However, just 2 years later, Music was sentenced to 21 years in federal prison for his involvement in a drug trafficking ring. According to court documents, Music used some of his lottery winnings to purchase large quantities of crystal methamphetamine with the intent of distributing it. Music was caught as part of a larger investigation into drug trafficking in Georgia and other states, and pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine and firearm possession by a convicted felon. In addition to his prison sentence, Music was also ordered to forfeit his lottery winnings and other assets that were obtained through his drug trafficking activities. While winning the lottery can provide financial freedom and opportunity, it is important to use those resources in a legal and ethical manner to avoid negative consequences. I hope you liked this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and leave a comment.